The sun climbed slowly into the sky, spreading soft golden light over the little town. The streets were quiet, covered with a layer of dust from the day before. Little shops were still closed, and the air was cool and peaceful. In a tiny room at the edge of town, Amaka opened her eyes. She let out a deep sigh and sat up on her old mattress. Her back hurt, and her legs were stiff. The room was so small she could touch the walls if she stretched out her arms. Her bed was close to the wall, and beside it stood a small table with a cracked mirror. Her clothes were folded neatly in a plastic bag at the corner. The walls had lines where the paint had peeled off. The ceiling had a hole that let in rainwater. When it rained, she would place a bowl under it to stop the floor from getting wet. Still, Amaka was thankful for the space. It was hers. It was the only place she had. She got up, tied her scarf, and picked up her toothbrush. She opened the door and walked outside to brush her teeth by the tap. Birds sang in the trees nearby. A gentle breeze blew across her face. Her day had started, like it always did. Welcome to Afro Tales TV, your home for rich, exciting, and inspiring stories from around the world. Today's story will touch your heart and keep you hooked till the very end. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any of our amazing stories. Amaka had never had an easy life. Her story began with struggle. She was born into a poor home. Her parents sold fruits by the roadside. Her father would carry baskets full of oranges, bananas, and mangoes. Her mother would peel pineapples with a sharp knife, her fingers moving quickly. They worked from morning till night. They never made much money, but they gave her all they had. They loved her with their whole hearts. They smiled often, even when they were tired. They told her, "Amaka, one day your life will be better." But life changed quickly. One rainy day when she was just 18, her parents went to the market to buy fruit. It was supposed to be a short trip, but they never came back. A neighbor knocked on the door in the evening. His face was sad. He said there had been an accident. A car lost control. Her parents were gone. Amaka felt the world go silent. She fell to the ground. She screamed and cried. Days passed like a blur. No family came. No one took her in. She had no brothers, no sisters, no one. She stopped going to school. She had no money to pay for it. Her landlord wanted her to leave. She had no job, nothing. But Amaka was strong. She wiped her tears. "I have to survive," she told herself. She started going house to house. "Please, do you need someone to clean? I can wash clothes. I can scrub floors." Some people said no. Others said yes. They paid her small money. She used it to buy food, just enough to eat. Every morning she woke up early. She carried water, swept compounds, and washed piles of clothes. Her hands became rough. Her feet hurt from walking, but she never stopped. In the afternoon, she sat by the market with a tray. She sold roasted plantains and ground nuts. She stood in the hot sun, calling out, "Sweet bowl, fresh ground nuts, come and buy." Some people ignored her. Some shouted at her. Some smiled and gave her extra money. She said thank you and kept going. At night, she worked in a small restaurant. She wore a black apron. She carried plates of food. She cleaned tables. Some customers were rude. Some made jokes about her clothes. But she smiled through it. One night, as she sat on her bed, she looked at the tin where she kept her savings. It wasn't much, just a few notes and coins. But it was her dream. "One day I will have my own shop," she whispered. "One day I will not suffer." The only person who made her smile was Amarachi. Amarachi was loud, cheerful, and kind. They met at the restaurant. Amaka was new and scared. On her first day, she dropped a tray. The plates broke. Everyone laughed, except Amarachi. "It's okay," she said, kneeling beside her. "Happens to the best of us. Come, let's clean it." From that day, they became friends. Amarachi made her laugh. She shared her food. She walked with her after work. They talked about everything. "Amaka, you are stronger than you know," Amarachi always said. "You are going to shine one day." "How can I shine when I'm always tired?" Amaka asked one evening. "This is just the beginning," Amarachi smiled. "Better days are coming." They talked about love too. Amarachi believed in love. She believed that every girl deserved someone who saw her worth. But Amaka didn't believe in love. "Who has time for love?" she said, frowning. "I don't even have time to rest." Amarachi laughed. "One day love will find you. It will come when you least expect it." Amaka shook her head. "Love won't pay my bills, but it will warm your heart," Amarachi said. Then came the Tuesday evening. Amaka had just finished selling at the market. Her legs were tired. Her throat was dry. She was late for her restaurant shift. "Oh no, I'm late," she said, rushing through the narrow street. She reached the back door of the restaurant, changed into her apron, and picked up a tray with food and drinks. "Table 6, hurry!" the manager called. "Yes, sir," Amaka replied. She walked carefully, balancing the tray. The place was full. People were laughing and talking. She didn't see the person in front of her. She bumped into him. The tray shook. A cup fell. A spoon hit the floor. "Oh my God, I'm so sorry," she said, kneeling quickly. "It's okay," a deep voice said. She looked up. A young man stood there. He had kind eyes. He wore a clean shirt. He looked calm. "My name is David," he said with a smile. "I'm one of the waiters. Today is my first day." Amaka blinked. "Oh, I'm Amaka." "Nice to meet you, Amaka," he said. Then he walked away. Amaka stood still. Something about him felt different. For the first time in a long while, her heart felt warm. She shook her head. "No," she said quietly. "Love is the last thing on my mind." Or so she thought, because that simple meeting was just the beginning of a story she never expected. The sun was going down, and the sky turned orange like a big warm fire. The streets of Lagos were full of people. Cars were honking. Motorcycles zipped past. Street sellers shouted things like, "Buy your gala here!" and "Cold pure water!" Children laughed and ran with their school bags bouncing behind them. Inside a small restaurant called MK's Place, Amaka wiped sweat from her forehead. She was very tired. Her back ached. Her feet hurt. She had been working since morning. The smell of food filled the air. Sweet jollof rice, hot pepper soup, and crispy fried plantains. "I need to sit down," Amaka whispered to herself. She grabbed a towel and wiped her hands. She wore a red apron with a small stain of stew on it. Her hair was tied up in a scarf. Even though she was tired, she always tried to look neat. Then she looked up and saw him. David. He was walking through the restaurant, holding a tray full of food. He smiled at a little boy who waved at him. His beard was neat. His shirt was clean. His eyes were brown and deep, like a river that held secrets. But it was his smile that made Amaka stare. It was not just a regular smile. It was the kind of smile that made you forget your worries, the kind that made your heart feel soft. "Why is my heart beating fast?" Amaka thought. "He's just a waiter, just like me. Nothing special, right?" She quickly looked away and grabbed a rag. She began wiping the counter, even though it was already clean. But she couldn't stop thinking about his smile. David moved from table to table. "Good evening, sir. Here's your food," he said gently. "Thank you, young man," an old man replied. David nodded. "Please enjoy. Let me know if you need anything else." He turned, smiled again, and walked away. His voice was smooth, like music. Amaka stared at him again. She didn't mean to, but she couldn't help it. He walked so confidently. He didn't rush. He didn't trip. He carried food like it was the easiest thing in the world. It's like he has done this all his life, Amaka thought. She was watching him when, Suddenly, David looked back at her. Their eyes met. For 1 second, it felt like time stopped. Amaka couldn't breathe. Her stomach felt funny, like butterflies were dancing inside. Then she quickly looked down at her shoes. Oh no, he saw me staring. That night, Amaka couldn't sleep. She lay in bed in her small room, staring at the ceiling. The fan above her made soft, whirring sounds. Why am I acting like this? She thought. It's just a crush. It doesn't mean anything. But her heart didn't listen. The next few days, she waited to see him again. David didn't come every day. He wasn't a regular worker. He helped out sometimes, maybe 2 or 3 times a week. But on the days he did come, Amaka's heart felt happy. One day, he came in and waved at her. Hi, Amaka, he said with a smile. She smiled back shyly. Hi. Then she looked away quickly and started sweeping the floor, even though she had just swept it 5 minutes ago. Days passed, then weeks. Sometimes, after serving customers, David would sit at a corner table, eat quietly, and then leave. Amaka always watched him from the kitchen door. She never said anything, but she always hoped he would talk to her. Talk to him, she told herself. Say something, anything. But every time she got close, her tongue would freeze. One evening, she finally found the courage. David was eating yam porridge and drinking cold water. Amaka was cleaning the next table. She took a deep breath. Do you live around here? She asked softly. David looked up. Oh, yes. I stay a few streets away. I just moved here not too long ago. Amaka nodded. I see. You don't come here every day. He smiled. Yeah, I have other jobs. Really? Like what? She asked. David looked a little shy. He put his spoon down. I do a lot of small things, he said. I work at a construction site during the day. Then sometimes I help at a bar at night. And I also run errands for people when they need help. Just anything that pays. That sounds hard, Amaka said. David chuckled. It is, but I have no choice. I have to survive. Amaka's heart hurt a little. She understood. She worked hard too, cleaning, cooking, running around all day. You're very strong, she said. David looked surprised. Thank you. That means a lot. After that, they started talking more often. Sometimes just a hi, sometimes a short joke, sometimes a little chat about the weather. But every word made Amaka's heart flutter like a bird. She looked forward to seeing him. She waited for his laugh, his voice, his kind eyes. One evening, David helped her carry a bag of rice into the kitchen. You don't have to do that, Amaka said. I want to, he replied. She smiled. Thank you. You're welcome. They stood close for a second. So close, Amaka could smell the faint scent of soap on his shirt. Then they both turned away, blushing. That night, Amaka lay on her bed again. She thought about his face, his hands, his laugh. I'm falling in love, she thought. This is not just a crush anymore. But love scared her. Her mother once told her, love is sweet at first, but it can turn bitter. Her auntie cried every night because of a man who left her. Amaka had always promised herself she wouldn't fall for anyone. But now, her heart had already chosen. One night, she sat outside her house on a small wooden chair. The moon was high. The stars were bright. She looked up and whispered, what if he doesn't like me back? The wind didn't answer. But her heart whispered, tell him. The next evening, Amaka waited. Her shift ended. She removed her apron and stood outside Mama Nkichi's restaurant. She paced back and forth. Her palms were sweaty. Her heart was loud. Then, David walked out. He looked surprised to see her. Amaka? He said. Are you okay? She nodded. I need to tell you something. He looked worried. What is it? She took a deep breath. Her hands shook. I like you, David, she said quickly. I don't know when it started, but I think about you all the time. I wait for you to come. I love your smile, your kindness, your strength. I don't know if you feel the same, but I needed to say it." David stared at her. No words. Amaka's heart dropped. He doesn't like me back, she thought. Then he smiled. Not just any smile, the big, warm, sunshine kind. "I thought I was the only one feeling this way," David said. "I like you too, Amaka, from the first day I saw you, but I didn't think I had a chance." Amaka gasped. "You do?" David nodded. "You are brave, strong, kind. I look forward to seeing you every day." Amaka laughed. Her heart danced. "You had a chance all along," she said softly. That night, they stood under the streetlight, the stars above them, the city noise around them. But in that moment, it felt like it was just the two of them. And just like that, their love story began. But this was only the beginning. Amaka was happy. Every day she woke up with a smile on her face. She had never felt this kind of joy before. She hummed songs while sweeping. She smiled at the sky. Her heart was full. Why? Because of David. They were now together. He held her hand when they walked to the bus stop. He called her my sunshine. He sent her text messages that made her blush. Everyone at Mama and Kechi's restaurant said they looked cute together. "Love is sweet, oh," Mama and Kechi said one day, laughing. "See how Amaka is glowing like morning sun." Amaka smiled shyly. "It's David," she said softly. At first, everything felt perfect. David would come to the restaurant after work. He helped serve food. He made the customers laugh. He always waited for Amaka to finish her shift so they could walk home together. "Did you eat today?" he would ask. "Yes," she'd say. "Good. I don't want my baby to be hungry." Amaka's cheeks would turn red. She was falling more and more every day. But slowly, things started to change. One evening, David looked quiet. He didn't laugh like usual. He pushed his food around his plate without eating much. "Are you okay?" Amaka asked. He sighed. "Rent. My rent is due next week. I don't know how I'll pay." Amaka looked at him with worry. "How much is it?" 15,000, he said. "I've only saved 5. She thought for a moment, then nodded. "I'll help you." "You will?" His eyes lit up. "Yes," she smiled. "That's what love is about. We help each other." David pulled her into a hug. "Thank you. You're the best." The next day, Amaka took money from her savings and gave it to him. She had been saving for new shoes and a bag, but she didn't mind. David needed her. That was more important. After that, things went back to normal. They laughed. They walked together. He even bought her Puff Puff one evening. But 1 week later, David came again, looking worried. "This job is not paying well," he said. "I need to buy food and recharge my phone." Amaka gave him money again. It was only N$2,000, but it was all she had left for the week. She skipped lunch the next day. Her stomach growled, but she told herself it was okay. This is what people in love do, she thought. They sacrifice for each other. Weeks turned into months. Each time David had a problem, Amaka was there. She gave him money for transport, for food, for clothes. Sometimes he said his shoes were torn. Sometimes he said he needed to help his younger brother. She never said no. Even when her own wallet was empty, she found a way. She borrowed from her friend Amarachi. She skipped meals. She even stopped putting money into her savings jar.